Hello, welcome, I'm John, and let's get going. So, this time I want to refer back to the previous video, because I talked about quintupling, if that's actually the right term, your ore output, or ingot output rather, because I talked about how you can turn one ore into 5 ingots. I explained how to do it in a somewhat frazzled kind of way, but nonetheless, you can go back and watch it. So, what I want to cover this time is a more interesting way to actually dig up stuff. Now you can see I flew a bit of way away, and I want to introduce to you to this fella, who's actually already full of power. Just get that away. There we go. So, what I want to do is first config this by ore dictionary. Just type in ore. Save. Boom. It's already there, so it didn't actually register that I typed it in. So what you want to do next is turn the radius up to as much as possibly can, turn the minimum radius it harvests to as little you possibly can, and the depth as much as you can, or rather the area. I can't remember what this one is, but it's quite important. Okay, that is part 1. And then you want to double check these settings. You want it to auto eject, it's on. You want it to select touch, yes. And auto pull, I have no idea what that actually means, so I don't really touch it. But you want to have this. You want to have it set to your power. You want it to receive energy. Oh, there it was. Receiving all. No, please don't. There we go. So now it's receiving energy. Let's hook them up. There we go. Now it has energy. You don't really need to use tesseracts for this. You can use windmills and advanced solar panels if you want to. I just use tesseracts because it's hell of a lot more practical than anything else, due to the fact that my entire energy system is hooked up to tesseracts. Whoop. There we go. Now it has an energy chest. Energy? What? An ender chest, which is hooked up to my base back home. And start. You'll see it have 15,547 ores beneath it, which it will all dig up in due time. You could upgrade it by increasing speed and energy in the machine. I don't see a reason to do this, frankly. It already eats so much energy. Besides, did I just hit the microphone? Besides, you don't really need that much material that fast. By the time you have this thing anyway, you most likely have a sufficient amount to keep going with the other machines. And this will meanwhile continue to create, well, not create, dig up a lot of ores. Now you can put this in. You'll see it instantly gets pumped out. Let me show you why and where. The reason I'm putting it like this and not using Tesseract to pump the items back as well as the energy over there, there's a very simple reason why to do that. The Tesseracts themselves are annoying to make because I haven't set up any system to do it automatically yet. So I'm using Ender Chest for the simple fact that I can just do this. We can't see it because I made this opaque, but whenever something is being pumped into this, which is quite often because of the machine over there, the digital miner, it instantly gets grabbed and put into the interface, which then pumps it into the system. Quite smart, isn't it? This, of course, links up with my processing over here. So every time something you can already hear, something I want to be processed can be processed, it will be processed automatically. Pretty nifty, isn't it? That is one of the 2 ways I could possibly recommend, to my knowledge, of course. I know there are several other methods to use in this enormous mod pack. For instance, I know Thormic Tinkering has some. You can go manually with a hammer, for example, or you can do the same as I done for fun. I made a digging spell. This one, of course, is quite powerful because I can. Basically, why? There is, however, one little thing you want to remember, of course. Your miner doesn't actually show on the minimap for quite a while. You can be lucky and it shows instantly, but what I usually do is I go to my map, don't really zoom in that far, but I click on myself, right click, and put a marker down saying digital miner, and just spam spacebar a few times. Boom! Now the marker is set to right about here, but at least I can find it again, right? That in itself is of course really cool. There isn't really much reason to come back to this other than turning it off and on a few times, because this has a tendency of bugging a bit. As you can see, it's suddenly down to 9,000. I think it dug those 6,000 in that short of time. No. Look. It dug 30. You want to reset it once in a while. It bugs out. I don't know why it does it, I don't know how to fix it permanently, but that little mini fix there tends to work quite well. So just fly back and forth a few times, and you'll have all the materials you can possibly need at one point or another. So that's a pretty simple way to do it. You could use quarries as well from Buildcraft, but they do tend to rip up the entire environment. I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. And Minecraft being Minecraft, you really don't want too big of a hole too close to your main base. I had that, and it reduced my FPS to 20 every time I even neared the base. Or came closer rather. I had that hat. And really it looks ridiculous. I kinda like this because it looks like I flooded the dungeon and killed all the dwarves, which I obviously haven't. Because there's some right here. Hello. But yeah, I did find it to be rather interesting. Plus I liked the lava down there when I hadn't picked it up. It looked pretty cool. An entire dungeon being flooded. I initially planned to mine it all out, but it just took so long and lacked so much that I, in the end, didn't bother. Yeah, that's a thing to get lost in. But that's about it. That is really all I can say about the digital miner, because from now on it just works on its own. And there isn't really much I need to do to configure it. I just need to make sure that my areas are all loaded, so the machines work like they should. And now we wait. Bye.